All right, we're live. What's up, everybody?
Hi.
We're
Hey guys,
Tetrafusion. I'm Brooks. I
What's
play
up?
guitar.
I'm Gary. I sing and I play keys.
Mark, play bass.
I'm JC and I play drums.
Normally, we talk for a really long time before we play the album. This time, we're not going to do that. We're listening to Dreaming of Sleep, and the first song on it is Blank Pages, and we're actually going to watch a video of JC playing through it first. Here we go.
Let's hit it.
As the track.
The first thing I want to say is that I really like how the cymbals came out on this album. Like I'm really happy with the cymbals I used and the way that we captured them. Like these are my favorite overheads. They were Cole's 4038s and they're just really kind of a dark microphone paired with dark cymbals. I feel like they really help to create a lot of space for the vocals and the other instruments.
I'm sure some of you like fun facts. So, fun fact is I wrote this whole song after coming back from Florida, Orlando specifically, and there were these billboards that said "Cafe Risque," and it was like a gentleman's club or something like that, and I came up with the title, the working title of this song, and the whole album actually was "Cafe Risque." I love this video. The video looks so good.
I traded a lot of favors to get that video. I played for kind of some. There was a studio that was doing, I guess, backing music. They were doing the production for some Netflix series, and they provided all the music and they did all the final editing. So, in order to get these videos done, there's a bunch of my drumming on a bunch of Netflix shows with just a bunch of like B-roll, like, you know, menu type music. Like, I think it's like home renovation shows or something. Another
I
fun
also
fact.
like this track. It was a nice return to form to have an album that just started with "Daka Boom Boom," just right into a song, because the last few albums were like real slow builds or like long intros.
Yeah, there
This
was,
just, like, right
We've
into
kind
it.
of alternated. Absolute Zero had a slow build. Altered State went straight into the guitar riff, and then what's our last album? Horizons. It had a slow build, and then this was straight in. So that means that the next album is gonna have a slow build.
Some of these chords in there.
Tasty chords.
Kyle.
There's a
There's
constant
some new
rhythmic
elements
theme
here.
throughout this song. What is it? 5? It's like 5
It's
into
just groupings
4.
of 5. Yeah.
Yeah, the entire song.
Yeah. Right now it's in 4/4 with that 5 against it, and the
Yeah.
main riff is in 3/4 with that 5 against it.
I love this bass unison here, coming up like with everything.
Yeah.
This is a crazy drum fill here too.
I love that little 8-inch tom off to the side.
It's like one of 6 times that I used that tom on this album. I don't think I'm going to use an 8-inch anymore, but it was fun. I'm really pleased with the stack on this album. I don't know. It's a good sounding stack. I don't know if Brooks likes it. I think that I might want a higher stack to complement, but I use the stack in the same way that I would use a hi-hat. It's kind of a more aggressive staccato sound than just a closed hi-hat. You use it in places where you'd normally use an open hi-hat, but you want it to be a little more like punctuated.
I love how this goes into
And we are
so this is
on to the next
yeah,
track.
this is Echo Chamber, and I love how it goes into it because like it's very clear where the downbeat is. But if you start that track, I'm gonna pause it. If you stop that track or you start right on that track, you think it's 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and it throws you off whenever the whole band comes in. It's pretty weird.
Yeah. So I'll talk about what Blank Pages was about. I was the one that sort of wrote lyrics for this, and the other guys sort of funneled it into like a more cohesive concept.
What was it like? Predetermination, kind of?
Yeah, it was sort of about the predeterminism, the idea that people who abuse the term "everything happens for a reason" and overuse that to like fit their narrative about and rationalize anything that happens. And it's sort of like a cop out on accepting responsibility sometimes and just dealing with maybe somebody's mistakes or failures or the repercussions of an action. And people just rule out things by saying, oh, it happened for a reason, maybe because they don't understand. So it was about people, just who abused that. And Blank Pages was just sort of saying, well, there's some metaphors in the lyrics, if you listen, that just talk about, people can just read blank pages and fill them in with whatever they want is basically the idea. And there's a lot of different allegories, the pencil writes the page itself and blah, 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 blah. So it was just sort of an idea about just some events in the world going on. This was almost 4 years ago. And that was kind of a cool concept that I heard thrown around a lot at the time. So those were the lyrics.
Yeah, I remember talking about this, and as we've kind of grown up, I've had a lot of friends that have just like made bad decision after bad decision after bad decision, and they just kind of are at peace and write it off because it's just like, well, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, and it's just like, no, those things happen because you suck and you're just like ruining your life.
Don't tell them that.
And yeah, that's kind of something that you see, is that some people kind of find a sense of peace in the whole escapism of, predeterminism, like saying, oh, everything happens for a reason. I'm sure that, there's a master plan or this or that. And, that's just not a very good way to live your life. And I think that that's a common thread that as we've gotten older, some people have aged really well, and other people we know have not, So that's kind of a discussion.
Yeah, and it's
that we all
not saying
had.
the phrase "everything happens for a reason" is not something you should ever say or use. It's when people purposely use that to justify
bad
anything.
things.
There's
you don't
lyrics
get
in
drunk
here
and
that says, the sequel before it ends, the playbook forced to bend, telling tale after tale, no chance for it to fail. Bound to the script, I can't read ahead, leave it to the playwright, blank pages to be read. So all just little allegories to like a playwright writing a play for your life. So
yeah, let's hit Echo Chamber.
Well, I was gonna say this real quick. We forgot to do this at the top. I'm reading Twitch comments. JC's reading YouTube comments. Mark's reading Facebook comments, and Gary's not reading anything because he can't read.
Reading Yoku and Billy comments.
He only reads Chinese.
All right.
reading DeviantArt comments.
I guess on that note though, Carlos AE says hi. Hello, Carlos. And Mega Milk 1. That's a cool name. Mega Milk 1 says, "This is my first time tuning in live. What an amazing concept. I'm excited to be here." We're excited to be here too, Mega Milk. Let's go on to
Stephen Galloway says, "Yo, Sudoc, mud up, dude. Steven, shut up." All right, next.
Let's go on to Echo Chamber. I'm actually gonna try to.
I got some comments too. You wanna go through the YouTube comments?
Sure, go ahead.
We can go to them.
The Deceit says, "This was my introduction to you guys, and damn, I still jam this all the time. Thank you." And he also says, "Do you guys have physicals of this album still available? Been on my buy list forever." And unfortunately, we do not. We released this album for free, and then we followed it up with a limited 100 physical copies. And that's kind of the way that we've been doing things lately. So I'm sorry you missed out on that. But we'll probably do the same thing for the next record. We'll do an initial release, and we'll do a later push with sort of limited edition merch. For a smaller band like ourselves, we're not able to sit on a large amount of stock. We need to know that everything that we make or print is going to sell. So we're only printing in smaller capacities because everything kind of has to be accounted for, because I don't want 1,000 copies of a record sitting in my attic. So it definitely... yeah, so definitely keep an eye out. I'm sorry that you missed out on that, but we've got some cool things coming up with the next release. We got a lot of ideas we're talking about, and hopefully we'll have an anthology release one day that combines all of our albums. I think that'll happen
called the
someday.
beginning to the end.
Heyo.
As
All
they
right.
say. All right, Echo Chamber.
yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Here we go.
Track 2.
Where's the downbeat?
Yeah, find the downbeat.
There's 2 bass tracks on this. There's the bass track, and then you also recorded like one with like a flanger on it. It's just like right.
Oh yeah. I
I
forgot how
love
we
that
did that.
flam, like the flam between the floor tom and the snare. I love doing that so much.
The synth here is so nasty. It literally like peaks really bad. I love it.
Also forgot to say Echo Chamber is pretty self-explanatory about what it's about.
Right.
Yeah, just listen to the words on this one. I don't think we have to talk about this one too much. Once again, I love the stack. I love what it adds in sections like that.
The riff that you're hearing right now happened several times. Like it happened in the last song. It's happening here.
It's
I think it
perfect
happens.
order, and it's going to keep coming back as well.
Yeah.
I love this fill.
Yeah.
It takes it from that triplet fill back to the duple. Like Brooks wrote that fill, and that it's just such a cool way to transition those two like seemingly unrelated sections.
Yeah. Sometimes you kind of have to orchestrate fills like that. You kind of have to write them out. You can't just roll with it. I love this. It crashes.
I love this part right here. Listen to the hi-hats. You know, originally there was a bass solo here, and I remember Brooks pushing back against putting vocals, and I just love the way those two made up, the way that Gary kind of works around the bass solo that's going on right there. That was really cool.
Yeah. There's a lyric earlier that says, "Extended out for miles," which has always made me laugh because the guest guitar soloist in this song is Miles Yang.
Yeah, I met Miles, and he plays in, what is it?
Native Construct.
Native Construct. And Miles he's a really great player. He's one of my favorite players, and I always keep an eye out for his videos and stuff. I think he's really tasteful, and I love the way that he kind of put this solo together right here.
It's the next time.
I want to.
Yeah, this is Mark.
I want to talk about the guitar solo a little bit after we get done with this. Remind me. I don't want to talk about it during the guitar solo. Let's
let the solo play out.
This is a really weird solo. It's so cool.
Weird and cool.
You can pause that if you want to talk.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pause that.
So originally, I hit up our good friend Sean Ash to play the guitar solo on that, and he sent me a video of him playing it. Then he decided to back out. I think he was busy like recording his debut album, I think.
Yeah, he was doing like a solo release or something.
Right. But he did send me some stuff, and one of the melodies that he played over it actually occurs on our album 3 times. I counted. I listened today and I counted how many times that melody came up, and Sean wrote that. So we owe him like some royalties or something. But that's the ba 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 da da. He put
Whoa,
that.
that was
in
okay.
his guitar solo that he sent me, and
Nice.
that's a huge thing in the last song on the album, which is Perfect Silence. When
Right.
will this life fade away, and then
But
so
also the big orchestral, like the
Uh-huh.
rising section. right?
exactly. And
Yeah.
so, but that's the first time that it happens because that melody we took from Sean, we put it in the lyrics in the last song, and then I was messaging Miles on Facebook like, "Hey, here's a cool little melody that this chord progression is the exact same chord progression that happens at the end of the album. You can use this melody." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool," and he just stuck it in. It was great.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. That's actually one of my favorite moments on the album because we sent Miles a finished track, and I remember him taking a really, really long time to turn it around, and he was kind of studying, and I sent him, I believe, the entire album. He was listening to everything and looking for like, recurring motives and themes, and he put an insane amount of work, and you can
For
tell because
just
like
a
the
little
maturity of
tiny
the
solo.
yeah, the maturity of the writing of that solo is just incredible, and his attention to detail is incredible. And I was just blown away when I heard it. The way that he was listening for the hits that were going on in the drums that were just kind of like, I was just kind of messing around in the studio, and they weren't like quintessential pieces. He like tied them in, and it was as though I was comping a solo that wasn't written yet. I thought that was really cool. So a lot of musical maturity there. And if you're not familiar with Miles Yang, check him out. His work with Native Construct is really dope, and he's just a really great player and a great guy. And I haven't spoken with him in
It's been
quite a while, but
He's got some really cool YouTube videos about music theory and stuff, by the way.
yeah, really smart guy, and I'd like to have him back to do another sort of guest solo. So if you're out there, Miles, hit me up.
We love you. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, go
Where
ahead.
we're at in the song, real quick. This is one of my favorite visual imagery parts of the album. So this song is just it's called Echo Chamber. It's obviously what it's about. If you get stuck in an echo chamber, you're lacking perspective, seeing two sides, blah blah blah. So this last part, I always wish we could have done a music video because this last stanza of lyrics says, "These reflective walls do not confine me. Your shadows do not define me. These shards of glass no longer binding. My construct is crumbling to the ground and the outside is blinding." So it's the visuals breaking out of something and having this like revelation of being out of your echo chamber. So I think the music complements this part really cool. And I always wish we could have done a music video specifically to like have the imagery of this part
Right
depicted somehow.
after Gary whispers, "The outside is blinding," the music gets very bright, like it's blinding.
It's just like it could be great.
Let's check it
I
out.
wish we could have done that.
On that section, I used a 24-inch ride. It was a Meinl Big Apple Dark Ride, and I just love, like, it's an absolutely massive cymbal that just has so much dynamics to it. And that was one of my favorite like new toys to kind of play around with on this album. So I used two rides, the 24-inch Big Apple Dark Ride and the 22-inch Pure Ride as my drier, I don't want to say pingier, but definitely more definitive ride cymbal. So see if you can pick
I
those
love
out.
this piano break too.
Actually, I just realized I think the piano break cuts off
This is
early
a
in this
classic
video.
TF.
Yep, piano break cuts off.
It
early.
does.
So I need to go to this.
There was nothing to watch there.
Sorry you had to hear that. Oh my god. There we go. So this was this piano break was necessary because we wanted to modulate to the next song smoothly. What kind of chord progression is that? Inside.
This
there.
next song is The Void. This is one of my personal favorites from the album overall. I found myself listening to this one a lot after we recorded it.
A little piratey to me in a good way.
A little pirating. Yeah.
And I actually have a video of me playing guitar over that, so let's watch that. Unless
I've
we
got a
wanna-
number of comments if
Okay,
we
sure.
can go over
Yeah,
those
I'll-
while you pull that up.
Yeah,
Octavio Morales says, "That's my percussion teacher."
it's
And
Octavio.
Logan Atkinson says, "Bro, it's small world, Octavio. He's also my teacher."
Wow.
John Henry says, "I missed y'all last week, so good seeing y'all today." And love your studio, JC. Thank you. I love it too. Brian Rayner, we got a long comment here. Hi guys, big fan of your work. I just wanted to say Dreaming of Sleep is an absolute masterpiece front to back. I love how there are callbacks and themes throughout the album. The dynamics are fantastic. It feels like one long complete song and it's absolutely brilliant. Really looking forward to the next one, fellas. That's something I like too. I like, I've said this in all the other streams. I'll say it again. I'm an album sort of guy. I like to listen to an album as a complete piece of work, and that's more enjoyable for me when the album is one cohesive piece of work rather than just a bunch of singles strung together. It's cool to kind of go on a musical journey with the artist that you're listening to, and that was our aim with Horizons, and I think that we kind of took a different approach with Dreaming of Sleep. There were some common themes and motives that came back. But I still think it's a very cohesive album. So thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoy it. And I got one more from Milk that says, Native Construct has indefinitely disbanded, I believe, unless you know something we don't.
No, they are.
Miles and NC are phenomenal, and it's a shame they have only got one album.
But it's
I
great.
agree. I saw them live. They were a force to be reckoned with, and it is just a tough industry. The only way that we're able to exist is for the band to be exactly as it is now, so definitely feel that. But regardless, still follow those guys. Every single person in that band is a master at what they do. Jake Dick on the drums has always kind of blown me away. I think he's a bit younger than me, and he's also a great player. I like that guy a lot. So really cool band, and we're honored to have had some degree of association with them.
Tyler Christiana says JC with glasses looks like Paul Wagner's cousin. Tyler says, stacks on deck, prog on ice. We can polyrhythm all night. We can do whatever you like. You got something started there. Keep save that.
Hey, Gary.
Stacks on deck, Patron on ice.
This goes
that's a.
Gary, this goes with what we were talking about before we started streaming. Mega Milk says, I always imagined this album was a story about an android who unlocked his consciousness and went through a journey to become human.
Wow.
Maybe it is.
I can't believe that you figured that out.
How did you figure it out? All right, y'all want to listen to The Void?
Yeah.
So you have Mega Milk commenting, and I've got Milk commenting. So your big brother is commenting on Twitch.
Let's listen to The Void. We're actually going to watch me playing guitar. That was a loner guitar from Frannis. Oh man, my hair looks sweet. I shaved my chest for that video too. The funny thing about this is I pretty much play above the 12th fret until the guitar solo. Oh, well, no, that one note. Okay. But yeah, it's like the rhythm parts are above the 12th fret and the solo is below. It's weird.
That's a really catchy melody. I forget how catchy that is. That's going to be stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was drawn into the void, as they say.
And just FYI, there is a drum playthrough of this song too, so check it out. This is one of my favorite sections coming up, which is what is it, a 7/2? This was quite difficult to kind of learn and figure out.
Yeah,
but,
so we're like in a 7/4.
Absolutely
kind of
fun to play.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
No, the next section.
I know. I'm saying we're like a 7/4 thing right now, but then it goes to like a 7/2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's just stupid.
So yeah, there's a video of me playing this. If you want to check it out, just check it out on YouTube.
Yes, Icebound Jester, that is a 7-string. I pretty much exclusively play 7s.
The song feels poppy to me. Always has.
Yeah, this was
I love that about it.
This was the quote-unquote single on the album. In fact, we were actually going to name the album The Void, but we decided not to because another band released an album called The Void like a month before us or something like that. Oh, dang it! They just cut a section.
It's okay. Let it go.
We'll catch it in a minute because there's something in that section that I want to talk about. I forgot that we cut that in this guitar video. I did not do my research. Just wanted a nice little chill solo. Don't got to shred all the time.
Man, we got T Christ in the house. Lighten up the chat. What's up, dude?
Looks like I'm bald. This is the camera angle. I'm thinking about shaving my head. Yeah, that's
This is that 24-inch.
What?
This is that ride cymbal I was talking about. Like, I just love how dynamic it is, and I love the way that it translated in the mix.
Noelle texted me earlier. She said, has JC used bigger cymbals on every album? I said, yes.
They're going to get even bigger on the next album. Just you wait.
The next album is going to be called Tetrafusion 5. Now with bigger cymbals. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
Good one. That's really good.
I was thinking like bigger, badder, whatever. But I couldn't figure out how to relate it to cymbals. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I want to go back to that song really quick, but here in VLC, because I want to catch this middle part. I'm going to have to guess, so bear with me here. Oh, man, nailed it. I'm going to go back a little bit.
Holy crap.
Why did you cut this out?
Because there's no
'Cause
guitar in it.
there's no guitar
So
part for like a minute.
Yeah, exactly. So the playthrough video would have just been me sitting there awkwardly. So I'm going to pause it real quick. So if you listen very, very, very closely, Gary is whispering, "Wake up," over and over. It's kind of panned. There's like delay and stuff on it. And Gary, I'll let you talk about it and talk about the little inside joke on it.
Right, well, I mean, I don't know if did we point it out last time that Hey Gary that Nathan
Yes,
put in?
we did.
Okay, so we talked about it last time. If you weren't that, you should go back and rewatch the stream
But,
anyway.
but bring it up again.
Okay, so it was the very end of Aerosolus, that our buddy Nathan threw in a "Hey Gary" just really, really quietly in there, but I definitely picked it out, and I hear it every time now. I can't unhear it. So when we did this part, the "Wake up, wake up, wake up," I also slipped in just a really quiet little "Hey Nathan," just right in there, just
There's no way you can ever hear it, though. We tried to hear it. We tried to listen for it earlier, and we couldn't hear it, but it's there.
We've hidden quite a few things on this album. There's actually a spot with some Morse code on this album, and I'm not going to tell you where it is. I'm not going to tell you where it is. I don't want to tell them where it is, and I don't want to tell you what it says.
Sure.
But
Definitely don't
it
want to
is
tell them what
there.
it says.
obviously.
Yeah, it's there, and if you find it and decode it, I don't have anything to offer you.
Can we tell them where though? I think maybe
No.
that's okay.
Nah.
That's okay. No.
No,
Okay.
no. But if you find it and if you decode it, message me on Facebook and let me know, and I will probably
He'll give you a thumbs up on the message.
I'll send you something.
Let's listen for the wake ups and the "Hey Nathan." I don't think anybody's going to hear the "Hey Nathan," but you can try.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Someone asked if there's a cat hidden. Is there a cat hidden on this record?
I don't think so, but there's a "Hey
That
Nathan."
would have been a good moment.
Yeah.
right
If
there.
there is, I don't know about it. It's hidden from me, but that doesn't mean there's not. There absolutely could
Jamie's
be.
Jamie's got a hotkey on his keyboard that's just cat.
Yeah, a lot of producers have a signature thing. Jamie's just hiding cats on your album.
Well, there might be something hiding. We've got enough people involved with the making of these records that like we have not known about things until the album was finished and had been released. So there could be a cat, and if you find it, once again, let me know because it's probably in there somewhere.
All right, let's
and
try,
I haven't found
let's try
it
to
yet.
find the Hey Nathan. Listen close. Nope. I heard the wake ups.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You got the wake ups slowly get louder.
Yeah.
It's you gotta really have good loud headphones on.
Another funny thing about that section is an idea that I had was, so you've got this sort of endless abyss meta whatever, and I was like, we should have just random syllables where you sing either you sing a higher note or you sing a lower note, and I'm not really into randomness, so we planned it out where like there's a sequence of 5 and there's a sequence of 7 going on over that, and we figured it out syllabically. And on this altered consciousness, one of them is on turd, so you just had to literally just sing turd into the mic.
I did not think of that. Yep.
Wow. That's not ever. So that's the perfect sort of compliment to Brown.
Wow.
We got Brown on Horizons.
Amazing. Those stems exist somewhere.
We've got
Just
turd.
me singing turd. Oh no.
Right there, it was right there. Listen,
There it was.
you just had to go turd.
All right, can you get back in there and harmonize turd? Let's get it again.
Give me another turd.
Good
Got a lot of good turds. We need one more.
I need one good turd, Gary. Give me one good turd.
One good
All right.
reason.
Before we go on to the next album, we should talk about how we wrote lyrics, like the lyric writing process for
The
this
next album?
No, for this album, right? Like what we did.
Yeah, we were actually we recorded all the instruments, and then Gary came home to visit his family, and instead of visiting his family,
For the
he
holidays.
hung out. Yeah, for the holidays, he hung out with us and wrote and recorded all the vocals for this album in
A week.
Yeah, and on this album, we returned to a more DIY ethos. We still worked with Jamie, but due to some constraints, we did more of the tracking ourselves. That I had a buddy in Austin that did me a favor, Jake Holcomb, and he painstakingly tracked the drums, painstakingly tracked the drums and did some post-production edits for us before sending them off to Jamie. So definitely big shout out to him. And my brother helped us track Gary's vocals. We built a little DIY makeshift vocal booth with like a drum riser that folded in half, and we enclosed it with a mattress and hung up a bunch of blankets. Like
I think it's still
literally, no, it's been moved, but it's literally the most DIY thing you could ever think of. Like one
Really
step
good.
above like putting somebody in a closet with a bunch of clothes and a microphone. But the vocals came out great. We tracked Gary with 2 microphones. I rented a preamp, and I'm really pleased with the vocal production on this record, all things considered. So I think that Tetrafusion at its core is a very DIY band, and we're always going to be DIY to some extent, no matter what we do. So it was kind of cool, returning to that for this album.
Cool. I got some stuff on Facebook. Any thoughts on acoustic versions of the album, a 4-song EP? That would be cool. I think it'd be cooler if we ever did that. I would leave it up to you guys what 4 songs from our catalog you would like to see acoustic if we ever did it. But that would be tough to choose. But I think we'd have a lot of fun doing that someday.
It would have to be very select songs, like the just simpler ones, like The Void would be.
It'd have
a
to
pretty
be
good
kind of like The
contender.
Contortionist, like The Contortionist did an album that way, and you definitely have to modify the songs. And I don't know that I want to play some of these songs on a cajon personally. So Yeah, we'd have to get kind of creative with it, but I'm not opposed to it. If there's some fan favorites out there, if some of you think that there's a song that you'd like to hear acoustic, let us know. That sounds fun. That really does sound fun.
The Twitch chat is really active. I'm sort of skimming through here trying to find something that I can bring up. Let's see.
I got a message from Milk. He says, Milk says, tell Mega Milk I said hi in the next break. So shout out Mega Milk. Milk says hi.
Tizopi says, enjoy the follow, Tarkington, or can I call you Brooks on here? I don't know who you are, but I'm assuming you're one of my current students, and that means no, you cannot call me Brooks. Sorry.
Well, he can call you whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Can Tarkington hear me? Can Mr. Tarkington hear me?
You can call me whatever you want, but in person, I'd prefer that you refer to me as Tark.
Cool. Let's get on to 10,001.
All right, 10,001. Here it goes.
Master 4. Tarkington. Once again, that stack, I love what it adds. I'm going to keep using the same stack until it breaks. So I really like that.
This bang happens a million times on the album too.
Here, pause it real quick.
Right there. What's up?
Quick little break, 30 seconds. I've been asked a lot what 10,001 means. So this song is about the saturation of this style of music going on in the music scene and the prog metal scene, everybody being djenty heavy, low tuning. And the expression is, you've probably heard this same song 10,000 times. So we wrote a song in that style, and now you're hearing it for the 10,001st time.
Yep.
And
yeah, it's a little tongue in cheek.
The lyrics are literally, I don't want to say mocking, but just pointing out the banal saturation of this sound in this scene of music. So it's kind of like jabbing at the lack of creativity for bands who only sound like this. And it wasn't meant to be anything like nefarious, but just sort of a stylistic remark about that style. So that's what 10,001 means. Go ahead.
Here we go.
It's kind of our own take on the sound too.
Oh yeah, we could have done a more blatant rip-off of the style. It definitely has some uniqueness to it.
This was a cool place for me to use kind of a drop clutch on the hi-hat. Like I clamped the hi-hat so that I could, like in the next section, do double bass over 16th note hi-hats, which I thought was kind of cool. Like I don't know, man. This song kind of has a weird like Korn vibe.
Sounds like Korn.
Kind of a weird. Sounds like Korn. Yeah, it's kind of a weird track anyway. Yeah, there's the double bass I was talking about. I think that's kind of neat.
Panning is cool.
Kind of punctuates the guitar part.
The delay on the synth here informed the chord choices.
Somebody says, can you imagine Tetrafusion singing in Chinese?
Yes.
So groovy.
This is the epitome of the term slap at the bass, by the way.
Slap at the bass. Slap at the bass. Slap at the bass. Hey.
Did we actually put the whispers in there?
Yes.
It's in there?
Hey, it's only the first time.
Tyler says, freak on a 6-string bass, Korn.
I remember toying with trying to make this a political song. You know, the election was going on this time.
This song this part right here is really cool on drum. Sorry to interrupt you, but really neat drum part that I had a lot of fun with.
That sounds tough.
It's this next section is a little tough, but it's actually really ergonomic,
Throwing the stack
and it
in.
falls
Yeah.
under the hands really well.
Sounds like two people playing drums.
Nope.
And we have a really interesting drum
this
solo
drum
coming
solo.
up here
I think you one-taked
that
it
Brooks
too.
wrote. Oh man,
I think
it's
you
got
one-taked
dotted
the solo.
16th notes in it. Yeah, it's really, really neat. Listen to it. 5-lit. You got dotted 16ths here, which are extremely hard to feel.
Love that.
Ooh,
That
it's a
is
doozy.
a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun to play. I could sit down and play it right now. That's so like deeply ingrained. I love that.
These chords are so bizarre. I love this part. So eerie.
Mark gets mad because whenever I write a bass solo, I write all these weird tuplets and stuff. That's coming up.
Bass solo that goes between vocals, and it's really cool phrasing.
That's the second time that's happened on this album.
Yeah.
9-lit right there.
This section right here is unprecedented in our discography.
Give that a pause because
really,
I want to go into the next song with that straight.
Well, there's
Okay.
still an entire section.
Right.
I know.
Well,
It goes
actually,
into the next song.
I have. I want to pull up like just a quick video of Mark you playing some of this track of 10,001 because it's got some of the coolest bass work on it. Let's see.
Yeah,
Here we
this
go.
is the reason I did a playthrough for this song only for this album because this by far was the coolest. Just lots of room for bass stuff, like
Right.
double thump, soloing, lots
Right.
of weird harmonics during the chorus.
Plus that bass looks sweet. That crackle green chrome. That technique.
Hey, it's right here.
Oh yeah, look at that. Such technique. You also look really handsome in this video. Look at that. Oh wow. What happened? All right, that's enough of that. All right, moving on. So, let's see. Let's read some comments, I suppose. Everybody's like adjusting. Gary left. Gary is just gone now.
He probably went to the bathroom.
Roberto Carlos Reyes says Gary's a really unique vocalist and also says Dreaming of Gent. Feels like it came out ages ago. I feel like there's too much potential to not try and push the sound further. Obviously, there are incredible musicians involved, but all of his minds can really do something new and great. Well, we hope you will like the new album that's just turning the corner of being done written, and we really hope to get it done soon. I want to address Tyler. You say just call out Animals as leaders for the point of the song. Actually, no, Animals as leaders is incredibly unique. I really
Yes.
do like them. This is more for every time I heard of a new band between 2012 and now, it sounds just like there's a really oversaturation of that sound,
Right.
and it just got old, and it almost burned out the originators of that sound on the music, which
Yeah.
they've said multiple times. So it
Meshuggah.
was just a fad, and this song is just observing that fad.
Yeah, it
And
was a
not
fad
saying
and-
it's a bad style of music because I like a lot of those bands, but it's just like any trend in music, it gets tiresome really quick. So this song is just lyrically about that.
Yeah, I'm a big Meshuggah fan personally. I've been listening to them since I believe the Nothing remaster came out.
I know, bro.
Frederick
I'm messing with you.
Thorndahl's Special Defects is one of my favorite records, but there came a time, I want to say around 2009 or 10, where like every single 17-year-old bought an 8-string guitar, and it's incredible like the amount of time it took for Meshuggah's like cultural influence like in the music scene to like really take hold and take
Right.
root. And because there was nothing like it. There was nothing like it before. I remember reading an interview where Frederick Thorndahl had some custom 8-strings built to handle the lower tunings, and now every single guitar brand is making a guitar that's made to handle like a low F sharp or a low F. So it's really neat to see something like that like nobody knew what that was in the 90s, you know? Go back and listen to like Contradictions Collapse, like, you know, you can watch their growth into the Meshuggah that we know and love today. So like that is a sound I really like and appreciate. Those guys were the forefathers of that sound. And, you know, if anything, like despite the oversaturation, it's been really cool to see the influence they've had on music and to see, you know, like bands like Monuments, they're another band I like, come out of that. It's cool. I like it. Big fan. But
Tyrannosaurus Moose says they just found their hard copy of Absolute Zero, and the only reason I bring that up is because I'm wondering, because Moose, I mean, could that be our good friend Mark? I don't know. Confirm.
No, it's not
Please
me.
confirm. Not that Mark.
If anybody is going to decipher the Morse code,
wingdings.
it's going to be, it'll be Moose.
Yeah, that's right.
I got a comment here. Really looking forward to all the wacky songs you guys come up with on the new album. JC's drum parts make the song so fun to play along to. And that was from
Nice.
Justin 80. I don't know how to say your last name. 80, ADIE. Thank you.
Cool.
Before we
Let's,
leave 10,001, the end of 10,001, the idea that you're sort of finding yourself, your own identity, your musical identity again, because you had this idea that, you know, okay, we might have conformed to this sound, but right at the very end, I just really like the build towards the very end, and then to bring us back home. So to
Right,
sort of
yeah.
get
Yeah.
home.
That's basically
And
bring you back home for your musical identity. It's very allegorical.
and after we bring it back home, we do something we've never done before, which is essentially an electronic drum break into like an orchestral build. Super peculiar, and I thought that was worth noting.
Yeah, so I wanted to play this next track with the outro of 10,001 directly into it, so it builds properly. So let's hit that.
Well, hold on. 3 things. So,
Cool.
Tyrannosaurus Moose says, "Def not Mark." So, that's unfortunate. But I'm sure you're still a cool dude. And Riot Davey says, "Hey, can y'all do me a favor and tell my friend Ben he's got a fat ass. He's a big fan." Ben, you got a fat ass. And then
There you go.
last thing, Buttercat X3 says, "I think I may make a series of art, one piece for each song on this album. Please do that.
I'd love to see
Tag
that.
us. Tag us and put
That'd
it on
be super
Instagram.
cool.
That'd be awesome." All right, here we go.
Please do.
Here's the outro to 10,001, and then that will go hopefully smoothly into Sisyphus. It's quiet. I wrote most of this at work. Getting
I
paid
remember
on the clock.
I remember when you wrote this, and I think we tried recreating it using some different instruments, you know, plugging in the MIDI sounds to other stuff, and it didn't have the same charm as the original. So I'm really pleased with how this came out.
Sub bass is really satisfying.
If you're listening on headphones or a good system, this is a really good moment. I like
I wrote most of
delving
this at work.
into
That
this.
makes sense.
I like delving into this kind of post rock, like really noisy guitar territory, and we kind of explore this a bit more on the next record. And I really like this.
This is that melody of Sean Ash wrote. And we stole. Sorry, Sean. Love you, dude. Text me. It's been a while. It was close enough. A little bit of a gap. Let's let this one go all the way to the vocal break and it will stop.
This song has like 3 back-to-back verses, and then that's it for the verses in this song. It's really interesting.
It's a very head bobby section.
Love this Hemiola.
I love that slide you do on bass up to that high note.
Yeah. Waiting for that 808 the next time.
Did we really do that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's the next time.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, it's like it's at the end of the song.
Middle. I love the just immediate, just drop everything and go into the clean.
I want to hear that again. Roll it back. I want to hear that again.
All right. All of that?
No,
No.
just the transition.
It's cool.
Like the choke on 4 and then just the downbeat,
Yeah.
just so down. I love that. Like we are so dynamic.
Right, yeah. Super
So-
super vibey.
Sisyphus. Anybody? I don't feel like I can do a good explanation of this.
You know, the story of Sisyphus, you know, was I'm not prepared to talk about this either.
Well, it's Greek
He was
mythology.
a guy, Greek mythology, condemned to roll a boulder up a mountain just for it to roll back down again. This was a little bit inspired by that and some other kind of personal experiences. Quote that I read that like one must imagine, you know, Sisyphus being happy, you know, or Sisyphus enjoying his struggle. There's a lot to it, and it I think relates to a lot of our experiences in the music industry. That this is a labor of love, and you're just kind of fighting against a lot of inevitable, you know, forces in a lot of ways. And it's just a neat song. I think it kind of speaks for itself. I definitely recommend listening to the lyrics and just kind of reflecting, because I think that there are some themes in this song that anyone can kind of relate to.
Right.
These
I'd say
are-
it doesn't have to be related to the music industry, actually. I mean, if you I mean, just hop on our Bandcamp. You can like look at all the lyrics, just read along with it, and yeah, I think you can probably find somebody in your life that
We can go with
maybe-
relationships in general.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is lyrically, this is my favorite track on the album. It's like the way it builds. It's just I remember spending a lot of time on this one. Not me personally, but all of us, just getting the right words, the right chronology,
Took
the
us-
right build.
This,
So
I mean, it's the longest song I think on the album. Actually, Perfect Silence might be longer. I think this one has more lyrics though, because it's just got this section that we're about to listen to is so long. And usually, you know, a song is written verse, chorus, that kind of thing. And we did not do that. We just went verse, like all these verses.
And
back to
it's
back.
cool. Like there's a lot to be said, and I think that this is like the most substantial, just, you know, moment on the album, like where there's something to be said and we say it. And just because it was inspired by some of our experiences in the music industry, I like to think that it's kind of a universal sentiment. And another point is that this is also another first for us, in that we use electronic drums, because they kind of get out of the way. They're not as like big or as impactful as real drums, and I think that it really sets a good vibe and a good tone. So I'm hoping that there can be more electronic drums on the next record, just because it's something different for us, and I think that they have their place. And this was a really apt, you know, sort of opportunity to introduce that.
Let's keep it going then.
cool. Let's hit it.
Well, I'll roll it back a little bit.
Yeah, let's get that transition one more time.
Got a lot of people on Twitch just typing out the lyrics. Must hit close to home.
In every single case, you maintain the upper hand. Living in our separate worlds, we're selectively connected, like light through a glass. My words are misdirected.
I love that lyric.
My input is always refracted, rejected or misunderstood, dismissing other perspectives as if it would do any good. We're speaking the same language, but sometimes I'm not so sure. The glass is becoming darker, your intentions are growing more obscure.
Good. And then we've
Slow
got-
build.
Oh, it's super slow build. And then like usually we know we're playing too many notes, but bass here is
Oh, and listen to the drums.
Yeah.
Places that you cannot see my side. Would it be so difficult chance with holding bits and pieces. You're setting the stage in advance.
We got guitar coming in here.
Yep. With the
More of that
longest
like
delay
post-rock.
on it. Yeah.
This is definitely the most restrained build we've ever done in musically.
Yeah, I think it's like
Well,
3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
Tallying the
Ah, I love that fill.
wins and losses, always keeping score, forever pushing forward, always wanting more, and
Cool harmony here.
you traded everything for your idealistic goal. I know you thought that you were climbing, but you only dug a hole. There is no pinnacle, no summit, no destination to find. It's not just luck, not happenstance. There's a pattern that you left behind. Endlessly pushing to the peak.
There's a very low JC vocal during this. Really weird 4/4 phrasing. I love that.
Ooh.
We're like, we haven't played enough notes. We got to make up for that.
Definitely overcompensating.
David Underhill, yes, this is all in my thumb bass. The Buckeye Burl one was this whole album.
Except for that acoustic bass part.
An acoustic
Another
bass
cool
on
build.
Perfect
Yeah, we got
Silence.
another build going on here. I showed a lot of restraint on the drums on this album. Like, I'm really impressed that I was able to like just play like a rock beat.
Well, you say that because
You know?
there's this really stupid hemiola right here.
Weird flex, but okay.
Right here. All that. Where's the time?
Overcompensating once again.
More weird
Our
4/4.
Octavarium moment.
Yeah. Smooth modulation too. Me and Gary.
Back
were
to the
talking-
intro.
Me and Gary were talking about it. It goes from C sharp.
Here's the
minor
808.
to E minor. Oh yeah. right here.
808.
Thank
Anybody
you,
hear that
Jamie.
808? Sound off in the chat if you hear that 808.
I don't know that we asked for that. I think Jamie might have
We
just
asked
like
for it.
Oh, we asked for it.
who asked for that? I didn't ask for
I
that.
asked for it.
Okay.
Another hemiola.
Like, we're like, Jamie, can you add an 808? He's like, got it in the favorites.
Lots of love for the 808 in the chat. Sounds great in the car.
Tyler
808
said
has
80
left the
great.
chat.
So this is the verse, but like heavy. So the synth is what the piano was doing earlier. I forget that this section exists, and I love it every time it comes
Section's
up.
so happy.
I finally got that boulder to the top of the mountain.
Love this hi-hat right here.
We got a guest solo coming up on this one too.
Oh yeah, Johnny Bab.
From Reina Kendo. I love that duple feel right there. This is John Babb from Rain Akendo.
Yeah, I can't do that. It's not hard. It's just like it's got the I don't know.
He said,
I think he's
"Oh
playing it
man,
on
the bass
telly.
in this next part." Yes, this bass part was ridiculously tough on my forearm.
Oh
It's just,
gosh, I remember being there when you tracked it. I felt so bad
this was
for
so
you.
hard to track.
So I don't want to distract from what's going on in the vocals right here, but like those really, really fast 16th notes, I actually played that with the front and the back of a drumstick on a
Oh,
tom.
yeah. Like this.
So that was like yeah, kind of a weird thing I'd never done before, but it was fun. I should have
Hey.
played through this song.
Here, these lyrics are from Monologue.
Oh yeah, come on.
Anybody catch this?
It's the next one, I think.
Next
yeah, it's
line.
the next one.
Right here. And the bass line that you just got done playing, now we're all doing. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm finally done with the bass line. Nope, still got to burn them forearms.
Double
Nope, still
bass.
gotta do it.
This is one of my favorite sections in our catalog.
I just love that, like, going from the downbeats to the upbeats. Like, I know that that's such, like, low-hanging fruit, like, polyrhythmic stuff, but it's just so much fun. Like, I just love the way it sounds. I love the way it feels to play.
Oh, that modulation. Whew, that's a song there.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop it before the strings come in.
Hannah Sheffield in the chat.
Hey,
What's
what's up, Hannah?
Oh, hi.
Says she misses
I got
us.
a few,
Loves the music.
you're done with
Hey,
that.
Hannah, hope you're well.
I got a few comments here on YouTube. Can I go through those real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Edwin Diaz wants to know the release date for the new album. We have not recorded it yet, but a vast majority of it is written, and you will know when there's a release date.
What's up,
So
Edwin? Love you, dude.
We'll get back. We'll get back on that. Firebird says Tarmander.
That's me.
Ryan Groom says Tarkigrade. That's a pretty good one. I like that one because he's so small but so strong. Milk is back. He said this album came out around the time JC and Mark left STS. I connected the lyrics to the falling out of that band. Astute observation, Milk.
That's
Milk.
a correct
Love you.
observation. I
Yeah,
can't deny the allegations brought forth.
No, a lot of feelings surrounding that. And if you want to know about them, then just Google it because we've talked about it immensely. Joe Torres, Dreaming of Sleep was one of my favorite albums to listen to during my freshman year of college. Such a brilliant record and the perfect introduction to the rest of your catalog. Thank you for that. I agree. I think that
Thanks.
it's really interesting working backwards through our catalog because, you know, listening to it, if you started with absolute zero, it's cool to kind of see our like own personal musical growth and development, not only as individuals but as a band. But I'm sure it's even cooler listening to it backwards that you kind of understand where some of these things come from and how we have sort of like grown individually and together as a band. So definitely appreciate that. I got a couple more. Rain Akendo is great. This band is related with so many other amazing groups. Thank you. I like to think we have good friends. I like those guys a lot. Got a couple more. Let me wrap this up. Which album or EP is the next album going to sound the most like? Well, every single one of our records sounded the most like the previous record. I definitely feel like the new album has some elements of Dreaming of Sleep.
I'd say
but,
Horizons to me.
I say Altered State personally because I think that we're a little more focused on the catchy sort of singly aspect of songs without kind of sacrificing the, I guess, sort of highbrow like technical prowess. I think that the next album, what I've heard so far is more mature than anything that we've done so far, and that I feel like it's it's a little more grown up, and I
Every
think that you guys
album-
will like that.
Every album I say, this album sounds like all of our albums combined, right? So, well, I guess I can only say that for the, well, I mean, I know what our current music sounds like. So, for instance, Dreaming Asleep, I'm like, oh, that sounds like the perfect mix of Absolute Zero, Altered State, and Dreaming Asleep. And now our new stuff, I'm like, oh, that sounds like the perfect mix of yada, 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 plus Dreaming Asleep. And, I mean, but they each all have, like, their own new thing. Like, there's a song on this new album that we're hopefully going to record.
No.
soon-ish
Don't
that-
tell them.
Okay, fine. I won't say anything.
We're taking our time with this album. In retrospect, despite it being a good album that I really love, I think that Dreaming of Sleep was kind of rushed in a number of ways because it was like Mark and I had just left Scale to Summit. We had a lot of time on our hands, and we just wanted to get this record done. And I feel like in some respects we just like blazed through a lot of the aspects. And for this next album, like there's no reason to hurry. You know, there's no deadline, there's no label, there's no marketing, there's nobody asking for this album. So the main thing I want to do with this next record is to take our time and to like really put out a body of work that we're like 100% proud of, and just spend some more time on it. Like there's not a sense of urgency this time around. So I know that you guys might have to wait a little bit longer because of that, but I think that you guys will be pleasantly, you know, really pleased with this next album given the circumstances and our ability to kind of put more time and effort and attention into the final product.
Cool.
Let's hit it.
Do y'all want to watch the string video first, or do you want to listen to the audio and then go to the string video? It seems weird.
Let's watch the string video.
Okay,
I want to watch. I'd like for people to see it kind of out of context.
sure. So hopefully I got this lined up right. Yeah, I think I do. Let's see. Boom. Okay, so this next song, well, actually, Sisyphus closes with a string quartet, which is actually really more like an intro into the next song. And we chose to put it as the outro of Sisyphus because we figured that if you wanted to listen to the next song, which is Simulate Captivate, you'd want to listen to the meat of the song, which is whenever we come in, the band proper comes in. You want to listen to that. You don't necessarily want to listen to the string quartet for a minute before we come in. But if you want to listen to the string quartet, you can roll it back to the end of Sisyphus. Anyway, so the funny thing about this string quartet, there's two funny things. One, I wrote it with my friend, or I guess our collective friend, Tristan. In college, we were studying 12-tone music, atonal music, and writing tone matrices, or matrices, I guess. And if you don't know anything about that, I'm not going to bore you with it. But if you do know things about that, then I don't have to explain it to you. So this string quartet is 12-tone, and it's really interesting. But the reason that it doesn't sound, I guess most people that know things about 12-tone music, is that it sounds weird, and it's kind of hard to digest and hard to listen to. This is easier to digest because of the technique that we used to write the original tone row, which is we picked a key for a key center, like the first four notes are in a key center, the next four notes are in a key center, and the last four notes are in a key center. Anyway, here it goes. Here's the video. Let's see. If you're wondering why the violinist all the way to the left is blurred, is because when me and my friend Noel, who was engineering this and helping me record it, when we were recording this, that man, Andre Carty, he's the violin professor at the school at which I attended. He was wearing a ball cap, and he made a huge deal about there being footage of him playing violin while wearing a hat. He didn't want to be seen playing the violin while wearing a hat.
And now the world knows.
Well, and so he was just like, "Yeah, can you not share that footage?" I was like, "Okay." And I did it anyway, and I just blurred him out.
What kind of word is ball cap? Like, how old are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. So he's a great
hat?
violinist. That's why I asked him to do it. And then you might recognize Paul Christopher on the cello. He played in. Actually, did we show footage? Yeah, we did. We showed footage last time. Anyway, got that epic beat.
I got a question asking where the quartet is from, and they were down in Natchitoches. Like Brooks and I went to Northwestern State University, and it was comprised of a couple professors, like you just said. They had Andre Carty
Yeah.
and
two
Paul
students.
Christopher, and then 2 students. And who were the 2 students, just so we can shout them out?
Mario on viola, I believe. I'm blanking on the second violinist.
Daniel.
Was it Daniel?
No.
Oh, it wasn't.
Sorry.
Oh, that
No.
was.
No, you're thinking of
Horizons, right?
Daniel
Yeah.
Fields. That was on Horizons, yeah.
I think he might have been gone by then. Yeah, we just kind of tapped, like Brooks and I were both kind of involved in the music program down there. So we had just a lot of friends that played a lot of different instruments. So that was kind of cool to have access to that. I think we've had
Emilio
real-
Castro.
Thank you.
real strings on all the albums. It's kind of cool, kind of a cool touch.
Cool.
Go ahead, Mark.
It was Emilio Castro.
Yeah, that's his.
Oh,
that's the second
cool.
violinist's name.
I thought you were about to like read a comment or something.
No, I just looked it up.
Cool.
Okay, so we don't need to listen to the End of Sisyphus now because you basically just heard it. So now we're
Cell phone audio, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. Fine.
I don't think they need to hear it again. Come on.
All right, let's just move on.
Simulate Captivate. This is track 6.
And so the
all
song,
12 tone.
Right, exactly. So that string quartet was all 12 tone, like I had said, written with a tone matrix. And this next song, Simulate Captivate, uses the exact same matrix. It was written after the fact, several years after the fact, actually. And everything, guitar, bass, vocals, keyboard, all 12 tone.
Drums.
Not the drums.
So
For
yeah, y'all
layman's
listen to
terms,
this.
12 tones
We'll-
sounds like a song that it has no key, even though that's not technically the.
We didn't use it
If
in
you
that
don't know
way.
what that is, like when I didn't know what it is, it's atonal. It has no key, and a very simplified. Like when you're hearing it, that's what it kind of perceived to be. So
Well, and in my
That's a layman's
opinion,
term.
I'd say that
So-
there's a difference between atonal and forced tonality. Like it still kind of follows the rules, but let's listen to the song and then we can talk about the lyrics and the vocal content afterwards.
Okay.
I want you guys to check this one out.
Cool. So yeah, if you think some of the vocal melodies are weird, it's because we were literally forced to use certain notes because of the rules of 12-tone music.
Or keyboard solos.
I like that part.
It's very creepy crawling. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially the vocal melody here. It's like, oh, we gotta finish this tone row. And then the very last note. Hey, you were in time. You anticipated it, didn't you?
the song is so weird, man. It's smooth though.
So again, yeah, if you don't know anything about 12-tone, another little tidbit is that you have to use all 12 notes before you can move on to like another thing. We'll just put it that way.
That's a good way to put it. Tyler says throw some 12-tone screams on there.
Oh, there's some super interesting stuff coming up in the drums.
We just like
The
We got really experimental
Literal-
with this song.
most messed up polyrhythm that you've ever heard in your life.
I want to talk about that before we get to it. I love this melody.
Yeah, stop it before the ostinato riff comes in.
All right, before the drum fill. JC texted me a long time ago and said, I want you to write a riff like this. And it was False Start by OSI. And it's the section.
Incredible song. Check it out.
It's so good. Is that Gavin Harrison on drums?
Yeah, that's the best OSI album because of Gavin Harrison.
Right. It's a Kevin Moore project from Dream Theater. Anyway, there's this weird polyrhythm that goes on where there's like a guitar riff and then the drums come in and you're like, okay, that's the time. And then he's like, nope, that's not where it is. I tricked you. I think
It's in the bridge. It's what is it? False Start? Is it False Start or was it
yeah,
Blood?
it's False Start. I already said that.
Okay.
Anyway, you weren't listening. Okay, so anyway, moving on. JC texted me that song and said, I want you to write a riff similar to this, except I want you to mess me up more than that. And he used a lot more choice words.
I said ruin my life.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, you got it, bud. So I got this riff that is essentially, I guess it would be, is it in 15? Da-da, 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 da-da. It's 4-4-4-4-7-8-7-8. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
It's 15 notes, yeah.
And so the drums, essentially, we've done polymetric stuff. We've done poly time stuff. I guess that's kind of the same thing. We've done polytonal stuff. But now it was time for us to do what I call polytempo. So the drums feel like they're just like in a completely different tempo. Check it out. So we're laying it down pretty straight.
Just try to find the time right now.
And then JC just goes nuts. It's like, okay, it still kind of feels comfortable though.
It's still just feeling like 15 right here.
And then you go to this. Like, what? But this one feels so out that this one, by comparison, feels like it's in. But it's not.
Then we add an atonal solo.
And now it's in. And then this weird synth. I love it so much.
This is sort of supposed to simulate glitching of a computer system thematically. I'll get to that.
So if you're curious about like the metric qualities of that section, I actually do have a tab book of this album where it's all broken down like note for note. So take a look at that because that would be a way more concise way for me to like kind of show you what's going on there than for me to like talk you through it. But it's a really cool part and that was a lot of fun. Definitely one of the more challenging things I've ever done on drums.
Actually, I'm going to roll it
All
back.
right, stop it.
Yeah. There's a couple
Okay,
of things I want
so-
to talk about too.
Somebody should explain loosely just the idea of this song and the next song. It's like Brain in a Vat's like Westworld stuff. That's always what I went by.
I think we had all just kind of watched.
But hold on, let me make
Westworld.
this point: is that there was a file that Jamie sent of the guitar tone, or the like that
No, it was
outro
the
with that
vocals.
fade
It was
out,
the vocals.
the vocals, and like something in the file got corrupted.
No. That's you're
You
wrong.
got it all wrong, dude.
When Jacob was recording the vocals, there was some sort of weird issue going on with Pro Tools
Yes.
with like the rendering, and
That's
so the
literally
computer
what I
was
was about to
messing up.
say.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it was rendering improperly, and I was like, oh no, that's really cool. Let's capture that. We tried to capture it, but it wasn't actually capturing the sound. So I'm pretty sure that we took a microphone and recorded the playback on the speakers
Yes.
so that we could get that. So that was a completely natural accident.
I'm gonna
and
roll
then
it
we
back.
sent that to Jamie and had him put it in there.
I want to roll it back so we can hear what you're talking about. So whenever Gary sings, I am the system, it gets really distorted and weird sounding.
And it was just purely chance.
Usually. And
Yeah.
then for no reason whatsoever. I'm gonna roll it back just a little bit more. Hold on, and bear with me. Yeah, that might be okay. So if you listen to the rhythm of the drums and guitar, we actually do the digits of pi for no reason.
I had forgotten that. I had completely forgotten
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That was, you were like, I just needed to write a pattern, and that kind of worked. And I
Yeah.
think it kind of fits the theme of the song. So
Yeah,
more
check
power
it out.
to you.
Right here. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So stupid. And then there's another funny nugget. The next song that's coming up, Awakening, the opening guitar riff existed inside of the tone matrix. That was completely coincidental. And so when I discovered that, I picked those notes for the outro of this song so that it could transition into Awakening. Completely by chance. That's crazy. Anything else we want to talk about?
Simulation.
Yeah.
We're getting like Joe Rogan here. It's all simulation. That's why. This is actually Joe Rogan. Joe, you want to come in? Joe,
Pull that up, Jamie.
you're Jamie. You can't.
Heyo. Jokes. All right, next song.
Yep.
All right, here we go. This is
Can
Awakening.
you talk about what it is,
Sure.
Gary?
This was the Westworld thing. Like, we had just
Yeah.
watched Westworld, and I think we just kind of wrote a song about that.
And we took some influence from basically, yeah. I mean, so somebody else in the comments earlier was talking about the idea of an AI kind of
Android?
consciousness. Yeah, it's all about that. I mean, if you haven't seen Westworld, get on that.
I've only seen season 1. That reminds me I need to like keep watching because I think there's like 2 more seasons out. Is that correct?
Yeah, there are 3. Yeah.
So don't spoil me. No spoilers in the comments, please.
Okay, this is Awakening.
Yeah, that distortion hanging over.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This one was another like single on the album. I think it's a really good standalone track, and I think we called this a single.
I love all the dissonance on that chord.
I'm really pleased with how the lyrics came out on this one, and the vocal performances and everything. Like I like the emotion to it.
That Soundgarden vibe. Another Hemiela.
I love the way the vocals kind of rationalize that polyrhythm and make it sound natural on the drums.
Right.
Emily Dean
there.
said Westworld's generic Pocahontas.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Mega Milk again. This intro reminds me of Brand New, one of my husband's favorite bands. That sounds familiar. Someone said, this is my second favorite song. It should be your favorite song. Every song of ours should be your favorite song. Checkmate. Ah, I forgot about the synth. It's just barely there. I like this guitar solo.
That was actually a creative contribution of mine, adding that extra quarter note in right there, and really proud of that.
His one.
That's all he did for the album.
That and the drums. That's it. Two things.
Forgot about the
I love this snare triplet right here. There's a drum playthrough for this one too. Gotta go
There
watch
it is. Check it out. Go to youtube.com and search JC Bryant.
JC,
Wait,
they're already on YouTube.
Is it youtube.net?
No, .com.
How do you spell YouTube?
youtube.com.
Cool.
So here's another unprecedented moment for us. We have marimba coming up. This is something that Brooks wrote. It is a 4-mallet marimba piece that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was a standalone piece that he had written independently just to write it. And it was so cool that we had to put it on the album, and he built a song around it.
And a lot of people messaged asking what Omnisphere patch or effect or sound did you use to program the marimba, and it is very much not programmed.
Right.
So
It sounds
here's
very
proof.
real. You can even hear it clipping on the
Yeah.
high notes because we didn't know how to record marimba.
And
Yeah,
this
I
is
guess
leading
sure.
into track 8. How many tracks are on this album? I don't even know.
9.
9. Yeah, this is track 8, Vestige, the only instrumental on the album. But the entire piece was written basically around this marimba piece, the theme and everything.
Yeah,
so
the
it was
story-
really different.
The story behind
sort
the
of
marimba
piece.
thing is I was a music student, and my last year that I would be a percussion lessons student, I just couldn't find a marimba solo that I wanted to learn that just really gelled with me. And I was also interested in composition. Like, I'm still sort of considering maybe eventually pursuing a master's and maybe doing that in composition. So anyway, I told my percussion professor, Ken Green, like, yo, can I just write a marimba solo for my solo this year? And he's like, yeah, do it. That'd be cool. And so that's what I did. And I learned it, and we recorded it, and I wrote an entire song based on that. So here it is. I'm also going to show you a video of me playing marimba too, but let's listen to it
And
first.
I used kind of a different drum setup on this song. Like, you can kind of hear it. Changed all the cymbals, changed the snare drum. I think moved some mics around. So the drum sound is like markedly different on this song, and I really
like a
like that as
live
a
kind of bottomy
Yeah.
sound.
and I had Jamie kind of take a different approach with the production on top of that. So this one is kind of a standout track for me that we did some really kind of cool stuff in the drums.
Yeah.
So pay attention to that.
Here we go. Yeah, you can hear slight clipping coming up right here. Yeah, I was in that. Did a pretty good job of getting it out though.
I like that it's not perfect. Like, this is a real sort of performance, and it's cool.
And so yeah, and then it goes into that same riff, but now on guitar and bass and piano. But yeah, if you're like, oh, that's Omnisphere, that's a patch. Here's me playing it, not in one full take though. Like, this is just as much footage as we got. So the story behind that is I'd taken so much time to record all that. And then we're like, hey, let's get a video of me doing it. And that was the best take. And so my friend Claire was like, you asshole. So anyway, let's go on to the actual track, I guess. Vestige. Oh yeah, I should say, the title of the marimba solo that I wrote was, and my pronunciation is probably going to be awful, but I'm going to do my best. Vestige, Vestige. I don't know if it's I can't even remember. Vestige l'automne, I think is what it was called, which is the vestiges of autumn, which was the visual idea of leaves falling. And so it's kind of got this.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's got this like sort of pointillistic compositional technique that just makes me think of the falling of leaves.
Before you start, Juan Rosario. This part made me realize how much I love Tetrafusion so much. Yeah, you did say much twice, man. It's always something new or different, totally out of the ordinary. Thanks, man. That we don't do new things just to do them. It's just like a constant evolution or growth, and like, you know, having this piece completely stemmed off a marimba solo was just a really fun idea where the song kind of wrote itself, and, you know, breaking that into all the four instruments just created that like foundation from the start. So this is a really cool instrumental. You know, the instrumental in Altered State was really heavy. I mean, it had a chill part, but this was like a really off beaten path sort of instrumental that was really cool, really jazzy.
Yep. Here goes.
Coming up, this section was surprisingly hard because I play the same drum beat over and over for like minutes.
You got a little.
So keep an eye out for that. I remember that being surprisingly difficult.
I love that synth. Yeah, the guitar part's weird too. It's easier to play on marimba than it is on guitar, for sure.
Did this use an alternate tuning?
Yes. Open C minor.
The bass was doing a tapping part with that.
Here's the repetition coming up after this little mini drum
solo.
feature.
It's just so spacey and cool. I liked it. And then right to a bass solo.
Oh yeah. These harmonics.
Oh,
Here's
I used the stock natural thumb because the harmonics on that was the only way I could get those like fret 3 harmonics.
Still bass.
So the
we
I love that
bass
trade-off
past
part.
that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it goes from Mark, and when he goes higher, it goes into my range.
Yeah, Mark couldn't play this on bass. Especially not that trill.
The
Bet
drill
you I
would have been the
could.
easiest part. Yeah, that drum part is surprisingly like tricky in the feet.
Remember in the studio, JC kept trying to spice up that drum part, and Brooks said, "Stop! Just play the." Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I think we actually ended up copying.
We couldn't get through this part because JC
to get-
couldn't just play it simple.
Yeah, I got it right though.
This guitar solo. It's got the lick in it, by the way. I
Yes.
just remembered.
Here's the lick.
All right, here it is. The lick.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
Licked ya.
I licked ya. If you don't know what the lick is, you need to Google the lick, or actually search on YouTube the lick. Or as JC would say, look on www.youtube.com.
So yeah, that drum beat is just like there's so much variation when it comes to like the opening and closing of the hi-hats that it just like I could not get it consistent, and you know, like we finally got it worked out, but that just it's the easiest thing sometimes, you know.
Little
I
bass
love this
featurette
resolve.
kind of thing. Yeah. This is
It's a really long
a
break.
really long fade, yeah. But I think we wanted kind of like a breath of fresh air before the next track was the idea.
This is the last track, Perfect Silence.
Which is
And
started.
this is the
with
only
Perfect
place-
Silence.
only place on the album where we say Dreaming of Sleep. Well, we don't say it. Gary says it. Or he sings it. But
Yeah.
That's right.
so this track is about, you want to talk about, this is like lyrically the most kind of story-esque.
yeah, every,
track on the
every
album,
track
it's
is
really
kind of
cool.
Personal. Yeah.
Well, if we were to continue along the line of, if you were saying it was about an android, if this was like about an AI or something that came into consciousness, then the idea there is that it can't die. Or if you were to think, okay, one of the ideas that we had in The Void was that somebody woke up from cryosleep and that they were being sort of kept alive by their life support, so they couldn't die. Essentially, they would live just essentially forever. And this was kind of playing along with that idea. Continue their sort of stream of consciousness.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about too. It's like people who wish to be immortal. This song lyrically depicts what that would be like. At some point, you would just be floating in space and nothingness, just existing. Like you could never die. Like that's the imagery, sort of at the end of the song. And
The Zoomers can't relate because they all want to
Just-
die.
just perfect silence. It's like if you picture that while listening to this song, that you're just, Earth has been hit by an asteroid, the sun is burned out. It's just like the universe has shrunk or expanded into just cold nothing, and you're just floating out there because you wish to be immortal and you couldn't die. That's what I get from this song, and
Right.
the music on the beginning end and the end of it too. It just sort of like elicits that image for me, which I always thought was really creepy.
Also, like
kinda my
it-
take on it.
lyrically, the song starts with, and so
It's like a
right?
continuation.
Yeah.
It's like a continuation of a thought. I like that.
Let's hit it.
Isn't,
Oh, you want to talk about
this
chord
one?
progression?
Yeah. Go ahead, JC.
I thought that this one was tied to one of the other songs on this album. Am I?
Void.
The Void.
Yeah, this is, I think, part of that story.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys already
Yeah,
said
no,
that, but
we
those
did,
two
we
songs are kind of okay.
Yeah, and we were gonna call this album The Void, and then after writing lyrics for this song, the lyric "Dreaming of Sleep" just summarized the self-referential aspect of the album with the like simulation, Matrix, the Westworld thing, the floating in nothingness, the predeterminism, echo chamber. They all just the title "Dreaming of Sleep" just summarized all of that
Kind of
in its
stuck
own
out
way
to
really
us.
cool. So that's how that album title came to be.
Back to the nerdy side of things, the chord progression here was something that I wrote, and I wrote it as a Roman numeral analysis, and it stayed on my mom's piano for years. It was just there, and then every time I would come visit, I would look at it and I'd like hack through it, and I just always thought it was cool, and so I decided to write it out for. I wrote it into Sibelius, and then I wrote a violin solo over it. And many of the licks in that violin solo are in the guitar solo that happens at the end of this song. So yeah, that's the story behind that. Fun stuff. Shall we
This
listen
is a
to
chord
it?
progression that never resolves, sort of. You want to explain that?
It goes through
It feels
multiple
like it
keys.
doesn't.
Well, no, to me
Yeah.
it feels like it resolves, but it just resolves in different keys. I
Yeah,
think
it's really cool.
It starts
So,
in A minor, and then it goes into like F or F sharp minor. I don't remember. It's weird. It's got lots of secondary dominant, secondary diminished chords in it. And in fact, it sort of sounds like I stole it from, I believe, the second movement of Beethoven's Seventh Symphony. I know it's his Seventh Symphony. I think it's the second movement. If you listen
somebody
to
on
that,
Facebook said, "Well, glad mom doesn't clean off the piano."
right? Yes, she does not. She keeps everything. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Emily.
I think I've said thanks, Mom, or thanks, Dad, in every stream now.
Thanks, Mike.
Yes.
Thanks, John. No problem.
I guess before we go on, someone named Sharkers says, I remember me and my friends would listen to this album countless times driving home after high school, and we would always laugh at the goofy part at the very end of Perfect Silence. That's
What are you
coming
talking
up.
Oh,
about?
we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
I don't have no idea what you're talking about. It's a
All
very
right.
serious song.
Yes, let's listen to it. Here we go. Uh-oh. Looks like Mark got disconnected.
Bye, Mark.
He's back.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I'm here.
Y'all switch spaces on the stream.
It's all part of my plan.
Moving up. I better watch out.
You're next.
Oh, I'm down here now.
Same chord progression.
This is bass drum and floor tom at the same time because why not? I got the hands.
Yep. If all four limbs aren't doing something, you're not doing enough. I guess your left foot's not doing anything. You suck. Lots of instant
And this entire next
tone
section
shifts.
on, this entire next section on bass, I used a 6-string Warwick acoustic bass. It's the only time I've ever used it on an album.
Super
And
cool.
It
Go all
sounds
low.
really.
So much
I wanted to
lower.
go for like an upright bass sound. It's very boomy, and I'm really happy with how it came out right here.
It's so like sub bassy.
Yeah. And they're like several years old strings on it too.
Oh yeah, the strings are really old.
Probably the original like factory strings.
They are. I've never changed them.
Yeah, it's
'Cause he
kind of a
doesn't know
hassle
how.
to buy 6-string acoustic bass strings.
I don't think I'll ever change them just so I can get that tone again for something.
Does he use bridge pins like a normal acoustic?
It's
I
on the
think
wall
so.
over there. Yep. Yeah.
Just seems like there's so much tension. It'd be crazy.
At first I was with thee,
Yeah, David, it's the alien.
drifting
I remember me and Gary deliberating about the lyrics and the melody here for hours and hours and hours walking around JC's house, going down the stairs to the piano. Just, it took us forever.
That I did.
And then we came back upstairs, and JC and Mark were in the room that we were officially like writing, and it just smelled awful, you know.
Here's the title.
There it is.
That's where we got the album title.
I love this hit.
That little phaser symbol.
A cymbal with no bass drum with that flanger on it, like just oh.
Very spacious.
I like this reinterpretation of the same verse. That's a cool lyric too. If you
Yes.
lived forever, you would have limitless memories and it would be overwhelming.
I like how you deliver this. The sun. So good.
Song gets so wacky here.
Love the bass tone.
This is from Blank Pages, track 1.
Oh, this drum part.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I love those tails on those keyboard notes.
So this is the chord progression.
This part was
that
from the guitar
Miles-
solo in
yeah,
Echo Chamber.
Uh-huh. That's that melody again too.
I changed my mind. This is my favorite lyrically on this album. How we doing, Tokyo?
We call this section the "Come On Tokyo" section. Come on, Tokyo!
This is where I stand up, hit the bass drum.
Yeah.
We've never played it live, so it hasn't happened.
That's right.
Not
We
yet.
Definitely haven't played it in Tokyo.
But when we do, I know what to do.
I love this basement right here, the flat 6.
Oh yeah. It's very
Ah, so
crunchy.
dirty.
Yeah. You're so dirty.
Dirty.
Back
This is from Blank Pages too.
Yes, we call back lots of songs.
I love the bass tone right here. Clanky.
Clank.
I did that for Matt Houghton.
Thanks.
All right. This next section is the wackiest thing on any Tetrafusion album, in my opinion.
You're behind.
And then when it changes to this drum beat here,
So this is all 12/8 or 4/4, however you want to think about it, but it's just phrased so weird.
that's bass tapping in 4-note groupings and triplets over nothing that, oh, it's just so weird.
Very King Crimson.
This riff was hard to play.
I was actually listening to a lot of Avishai Cohen Trio.
Brooks,
I read
pause
the
it for a second.
Sure. What's up?
Real quickly, can you explain the constant numerical pattern that goes through all of this section in every way? It's like, it's the,
Yeah, it's
help me out.
it's decent.
So the drums are groupings. Yeah, it's groupings of 5, 4, 3, 3, 4, 5. So very quickly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it does
all
that
adds up to
again.
12
So
twice.
yeah, so it's
But
just
this whole
very
jazzy
chaotic.
riff is doing those accents too.
Yeah, the accents exist through the entire section. Sometimes it's
So just
relatively
because they're
comfortable,
not-
sometimes it's not.
Yeah, like it's subdivided to kind of lay that out for you, and then you can kind of hear it in like it's recontextualized in the following sections. So
Yeah.
that was kind of an interesting way to do that.
Here it goes.
Hit it.
I backed it just a little bit. One.
This bass solo is hard.
Choose your car. This reminds me of like Cruising USA or something.
It's just weird phrasing. I love this keyboard part.
JC, you didn't do it.
That rising keyboard part.
Yeah.
Sounds like Steve Miller Band right here.
I love how it goes to guitar that second time.
This is actually the
The
chord
ooze.
progression for the Yo Gabba Gabba theme song. We
The
realized.
ooze, yeah.
I think I might need to pull that up. Do you know how to find that?
Type it in.
Oh my god, oh my gosh, bear with me. Do you like? It's the Yo Gabba Gabba theme song. Is that what
I
it
knew
is?
that because my kid had it on one time, or just found it. I've never heard of this show, and I was like, "This theme song's catchy." And then we got to recording this album, and I was like, "Where have I heard that
Isn't
chord
it
progression?"
the closing theme? Like the
Yeah, it's the
outro?
closing theme of
Okay.
Yo Gabba Gabba.
So okay, hopefully that's right.
That show is ridiculously weird.
I'm gonna back it up
It's
a
so
little bit.
surreal. I know it's a kids' TV show, but it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Listen to the mainly like the vocals and the synth. I went back just a little bit too far. Right here.
This is Yo Gabba Gabba.
Okay, now I'm gonna pull it up. I'm not gonna bother pulling up the video. That's all we're gonna do.
Oh, it's just it has a similarity there.
Yeah,
Okay, keep going.
keep going.
Inspiration anywhere.
That was accidental, by the way.
The section reminds me of Muse on the vocals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who sang the really high?
Me.
I mean, I know I did one, but
I didn't realize there was one in there.
I love this resolve here.
Yes. it hits
Once
really
again,
hard.
on the kick drum and the floor tom.
So the guitar part is that violin thing that I composed that I was talking about.
I think this is the highest I've sung right here.
Oh, it's so good. Can we do it again, please? That literally might
Yeah,
be
these are
my
powerful lyrics. I'm left
favorite
waiting
part.
for what will. What's the lyric?
For what I hope will come.
Yeah.
I'm left waiting for what I hope will come. Living forever, just floating in nothing. Oh man, just these lyrics really cool.
He's left waiting for what he hopes he hopes death will come.
Yeah, can't die.
This is such good delivery. I love how you slide all those down too. Very operatic.
And this is referencing the void, right? These lyrics. Self-referential. I love it.
I hadn't done a harmonized guitar solo before, so I figured. What the
It's
Didn't
hell?
you say
very,
you were going for if Bach did a song with Metallica?
Yeah.
It's very Avenged Sevenfold of you.
Bach wouldn't have written these chords, but that's okay. Oh, there's a swell that Gary that you added at the end of this. I remember when you added it. I was like, yes, chef's kiss. Thanks.
Yeah, okay, we all did it.
We have a thing about piano in the last song of every album.
Yeah, referencing the previous tracks and okay, here we go. In the lower octave.
And this is a reference to which track? Echo Chamber?
It's the outro of Echo Chamber, or before the guitar solo of Echo Chamber. But it's got this part in it added. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. That's added in there, which is from almost every track.
Blank
It
pages,
starts in
right?
blank pages, yeah. But it's in almost
Yeah.
every track.
So if you go back and listen to this album, there's a ton of riff references all over the place.
This octave
This is
part
one of 'em.
in the synth gets doubled in guitar, and then I made a mistake and messed up the pattern in synth and guitar, so we get off. That things like get offset or whatever, and I
Yeah.
just left it. So it's really crunchy right here. And that's the official end of the album. And many people did not know about this next part coming up.
This is the album closer right here. Wait for it. Somebody just tuned in.
I'm gonna turn it up.
That's good enough.
So the
That'll
whole
do.
album ends with, "That's good enough."
That song is called "I Want Some Spaghetti."
Yes.
I want some spaghetti
Funny.
and meatballs.
Yes. Funny factoid about that is, I wrote that in college before we recorded Horizons, and so we were supposed to record that when we went to North Carolina and recorded Horizons, but we just forgot.
We ran
We,
out of time.
we forgot that epic.
We forgot to record it. So because I remember
I just love.
I remember singing
I
it
love-
while we were there. I want some spaghetti. All the time. Just
And
getting on
meatballs.
James' nerves.
It's just so funny to end like such a serious long epic with a hidden track that's just like so silly. Like it just lightens the mood a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we just had a
I was
song about a
so,
guy
like-
that couldn't die in space. So he wants some spaghetti. That's
Naturally.
really the moral of the story. If you're ever in space and you can't die, maybe you want some spaghetti.
That's true.
That's
I-
the
So
concept of the record.
I wish we could have done
The
the,
last,
secret track the way I wish we could have done the secret track the way that like it happened. Like bands did secret tracks in like the 90s and early 2000s. I remember like on a physical CD, you could be like on track 1 and rewind it past 0, and then you have a secret track that's actually before track 1. You know what I mean? Stuff like that existed. It was weird.
Yeah.
I wish we could have done that, but you can't do that these days with streaming. So
I'm pretty sure there was a way where like you could only get to the secret track if you played the entire CD without skipping a track, and it naturally went to it. But if you skip to it,
right. Yeah, I think there's a way
it
you
somehow
can do that, something
it would
like that
put
too.
you back to the one. I
Right.
remember there's some weird, funky things done on CD.
Yeah,
But,
I remember there was like a Tool album that's got like I want to say it's Undertow. I think it's Undertow.
Yeah, it's
That like I
Undertow.
fell asleep like many nights listening to that album, and then like would be woken up by the weird track like that was hidden at the very end of that. So definitely like inspired by that. Like I just love stuff like that, hidden things on the album. They had things where you could pull out backing plate where the CD would go, and I think there was a picture of a cow licking its butthole, like
Yes.
just things like that, like just interesting little hidden nuggets. So there's a lot of things hidden on our albums that we
Not
pointed
cows
out.
licking their own buttholes, though.
But for as many things as we have pointed out,
Maybe cats.
there's just as many that we haven't pointed out. So definitely, like, there's some replay value to these albums, and try to find
JT,
some of the.
Even an earthquake.
But
What?
your studio isn't affected. It's
studio is-
only you.
Ah!
It's like you're like on a spring, or the whole studio is on a spring, so it doesn't move. But you're not. So
All right. Well, this
I
is
know, those
the
microphones look pretty stable back there.
this is the last Tetrafusion Tuesdays. So it has to be done. Can you do a true background reveal?
Yeah,
Oh,
give me
yeah,
one sec.
good
I'm
idea.
actually working on that right now. Let me
background reveal.
I'm navigating.
If I can get like
Sorry,
hey, actually,
my
Mark,
computer's giving me trouble.
do what I did on your stream the other day.
What?
To like get you some subscribers.
What did I do? Well, I don't forgot.
You don't remember what I did that got you 2 subscribers?
No, it was like a 5-hour stream.
I know. I said something that was an incentive for people, so that. Fine, I'll do it. I'll play a little bit of some new material if I get some subscribers. See, I just feel weird asking for it. That's why I wanted you to do it, you jerk. Now I'm not going to do it.
Or can you get subscribers?
Why couldn't I get subscribers? Can I? I don't
On
know
your
how Twitch
Twitch?
works. Is it because I'm on Caster? Is that why I can't?
No, you have to have an affiliate.
Oh,
To
okay.
get-
Well, follow me. If I can get 100 follows before the end of this stream, then
Oh, it's not even good because it's supposed to be animated.
what was that other one, JC?
Oh, here's my bedroom.
We'll play some new Tetrafusion if somebody can point out what that background's from.
All right, this is fine.
Hey. I get it.
All right, guys. Well, I'm not wrapping up yet, but I just want to thank everybody who tuned in to 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of these streams. This has been a lot of fun reliving these albums. And like I said multiple times in the last streams, being forced to sit down and listen to Tetrafusion's body of work has really inspired me just to get on the ball for the next album and just really be thinking about everything we've played and gone through for all of these albums, all the mindsets musically, all the different inspirations that were floating around the time of each of these albums. And I'm really excited for you guys to hear the 5th record. Again, had there been no pandemic, I imagine we would probably be a lot farther along with it, but we're pretty close to having it being done, written, and bottom line, we hope to get it out as soon as possible to you, whenever we feel like it's ready. But there will be a 5th album, and we're really excited about it. And this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, streaming's fun. We've run out of albums to kind of like do live commentaries on, but we enjoy doing this. So if you guys have any other clever ideas that would give us an excuse to continue streaming, let us know. Post something in the comments, message us, whatever, because I'd like to do some more of this. Yeah, I miss these guys, especially Gary. He's all the way in China, so that gives us an excuse to kind of hang out and
Yeah.
chat.
And for anyone watching on Twitch, I would love it if you gave my Twitch channel a follow. It's twitch.tv/lowenduniversity. And I only say that because today, getting ready for this stream, I relearned some tracks from this album, and Perfect Silence was one of them, and I played it. It was a lot of fun getting back into the headspace of playing those parts. And I've always wanted to work up songs from Dreaming of Sleep again. And I plan to do that on some other streams this week while this album's fresh in my mind. So if you want to come hang out on any streams the rest of the week, I'll probably be diving into some of this music on bass. So once again, that's twitch.tv/lowenduniversity. Just come hang out and yeah, give Brooks a follow too.
Brooks, didn't you
haven't
talk
already.
about potentially doing like some live songwriting, or maybe that would be a cool way for you to share some future material. Would be to do some additional streams, just kind of messing around.
I got a lot of people griping at me on Twitch, like link Mark's channel. So I'm gonna do it. I don't know if there's like an official way to do it because I'm new to Twitch, so I'm just gonna type it out like an old man. I guess that's
Just
how you
type it
do
in the
it.
chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Twitch.tv
Yeah,
slash low.
I plan to learn at
F in the
least
chat.
the tracks from Horizons and Dreaming of Sleep. I've really wanted to rework some of those, and just have fun getting back into the headspace, because one thing I did back when I was in Scale Summit is I kind of relearned a few parts on one album to kind of get ready for another, to almost pick back where I left off mentally. And I've done that with Tetrafusion as well. Like when Dreaming of Sleep came around, I had just done some playthroughs for Horizons, I believe. I don't know if I have the chronology of all that right, but yeah, this is a time period where we're ramping up to do the next album, and I'm beginning to go through and start really learning the parts and making my own adjustments. So I'd love to broadcast what I can on Twitch of that without like giving the new album away. But I think we're all really excited. And like, again, I'm sure I can speak for all of us in saying listening to these albums has been a lot of fun, and glad you guys could be a part of it. This was really fun. This whole Tetrafusion Tuesdays thing was just a random idea. Like, hey, let's all get us all together. We're in quarantine. It'd be fun to get on Zoom and stream and talk about it. And this has like been really, really fun. I didn't expect really anybody to show up, and you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was like a good time. I like doing this. So once again, give us another excuse to do it again.
Yeah, and whenever we're recording the new album, Brooks and I are doing, we've got kind of the just general streaming thing figured out mostly, and I would love to like stream a bit of that and kind of bring you guys into the process of writing some more of it, recording it, anything like that. What we can and what's appropriate, but just stay tuned to our channels, because this has been fun, and I don't want this to be the last time we do some sort of Tetrafusion stream, because right as we really got the hang of this is the last album we have to do commentary on, so we hope to do it again for sure.
Yeah, we've kind of figured it out by now.
Yep. It took us a while.
But this is the last. With that being said, this being the last stream for the foreseeable future, if anybody has any last questions, anything, go throw them in the chat on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, wherever you're watching. I have one on Facebook. Did you guys ever try playing over stream? Is the latency too much?
It's too much.
Wanted to try that.
Way too
Yeah, it's not doable.
much. We tried.
I think technology is not quite there yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was possible in the next
Well,
5
I was
years.
watching
We
a
can
video the
we
other
can
day.
write over stream, and we can screen share, and Brooks is like shared a lot of new music and new ideas with us that way, but like actually playing is just kind of what were you going to say, Brooks? Sorry.
I was watching a video the other day that was talking about zooming or whatever, and playing instruments. I think it was a Vox video. I don't remember. But apparently, yeah, there's like two programs that the latency is within a reasonable threshold that two people can play pretty well. So we can look into that maybe.
Question on
Nice.
Facebook: where can I find all the Tetrafusion albums? Well, if you want to support us, and we haven't really asked for donations too much on these streams, but the best way to support us and the funds it's going to require to do the next album is tetrafusion.bandcamp.com. And you can buy any of our albums digitally. They're directly from us, and all of them are equipped with a pay what you want. So you could pay $5,000 for an album. You go ahead and do that now. But my point is just that's the best way to support us. Again, as we've said on other streams, any funds this band has ever gotten goes literally into the next album. And just the costs that are associated with putting out a premium product and having someone like Jamie King be involved. So we hope you consider doing that to make the next album as possible as it can be. And
yeah, the more money
once
that
again,
we have, the more money we're going to spend on the record. So if we've got $1,000, then we're going to have $1,000 record, and if we've got $100,000, we're going to have $100,000 record. So that's really the only purpose of this project.
Right, we have tab books too, guitar, bass, and drum transcriptions for this album, Dreaming of Sleep. And we still have some physical CDs. I know that's a dinosaur thing, but It's more of just a way to support Tetrafusion and just the fact that we're an independent band just doing this out of the love of writing music. So
Physical CDs of our back catalog, not
yeah,
physical
our
CDs.
back
Yeah,
catalog.
we only did 100 copies of Dreaming of Sleep, but we do have some remaining copies of the 3 previous albums, Horizons, Altered State, and Absolute Zero. So definitely it would help to pick those up. And like Mark said about the tab books, I can talk about parts all day long, but the best way for you to understand what's going on in the music is to just see it and to read it. So definitely check that out. I believe it's a digital download on our Big Cartel,
And also,
tetrafusion.bigcartel.com.
now that the tab books are at tetrafusion.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
I took the Big Cartel down, I believe.
Okay. I didn't know that.
But you could find them. They're in multiple places. But also, if you just want to listen to our music, we're also on all the normal stuff: Spotify, Apple Music. Our entire catalog was put up there back in December. So, stream to your heart's content. We hope we just want you listening to the music. That's the most important thing over any of this. Somebody asked, why do you offer Name Your Price? I mean, kudos, but why offer that? It's an interesting psychology because
Answered that in the
when
last
something
stream, but
Yeah, we did talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, basically the idea is we started this with Horizons on Bandcamp. It was a free album. You could download it for free, or you can pay $10. You could pay $10,000, $10.
I knew that was coming.
Nice.
And the idea is that if we priced the album at $10 and somebody felt the album was worth more in the sense they wanted to support the band further, they're capped at $10. But there's a psychology with Name Your Price where people like we earned more revenue from that album than an album that we actually sold. And again, all of that was for no other reason than just to support the band and be able to do the next album, which was Dreaming of Sleep. But it was just a way for people who couldn't afford the album to get the album, or people who were able to afford it and wanted to support the band and whatever. There was just a wide gap for anybody there. But the bottom line was we wanted the album to be heard rather than not heard. We didn't want somebody who wasn't in a position to purchase an album right then to just not be able to hear the music. We wanted everybody to be able to hear the album. So that was the idea with the Name Your Price thing.
Yeah, it was before streaming, and so people
Right.
were stealing music like crazy. So instead of giving people the opportunity to steal music, we just gave people the opportunity to
Yeah, if you
download
can't
our
beat them,
music for
join
free.
them. That was the
Exactly.
idea. And Radiohead did
was-
something like that too. And
it-
it kind of became a thing before Spotify. Like pay what you want albums. A lot of artists were doing that like 2010 to 2015 or so. That was like kind of a thing right before streaming became the norm. So
It was at the peak of like the Pirate Bay, Demonoid, music piracy, and it had become a choice whether or not you wanted to support an artist or download the album. And a lot of my friends had qualms with the quality of downloads that you could get through iTunes, and they would pirate the album because someone else bought the CD and took the time to rip it and upload it in FLAC or a lossless format or the format of their choice. So one advantage of Bandcamp was that it allowed the listener to download the album in any format that they wanted. Like I've got a lot of, friends that listen to 320, kilobytes per second. Like that's their preferred quality because it's indiscernible from a lossless, file format. I thought that was really cool for Bandcamp. And given the option, if people were pirating music at such a rapid, sort of rate, I at least wanted to create a connection through Bandcamp that they were getting it for free through us, and given the opportunity, if they wanted to contribute, they could contribute. So like the other guys said, this was Spotify, pre-Apple Music, but it was at the height of like the sort of, music piracy pandemic. And we also crowdfunded Horizons. So we felt like if people were willing to contribute
Right.
to us
I
and give
forgot about
something
that.
to us,
Wouldn't
They-
make
they-
people double pay for it.
yeah, they
good point. I
gave
forgot
us
about that.
something that helped us to make the album happen. So we gave the album back as kind of a thank you for that. And that was something that we really enjoyed. We've stuck to it ever since. And I don't ever really see that changing because, I'm more interested in sharing music with the world than I am in making money doing it.
Exactly. Like we just beat them to the punch with piracy back before streaming. And like we said, hey, just pirate it from us, but at least you're on our page and you can follow our social media pages. It was just like like kill them with kindness, like, you know, metaphorically to like piracy with music. I don't know.
Yeah, it
But,
at least gave us an opportunity to speak our piece and have them get it from our own page where they could have a connection with us because, you know, like the Pirate Bay or Demonoid, it's so impersonal. And we kind
Yeah.
of at least wanted there to be a personal element to like, you know, interacting with the band and listening to our music, you know.
And David asks, I downloaded it on Apple Music. How does Apple Music help you guys as a band, if at all? Yes, bands get paid from streaming. It's very small, but you know, it all adds up. I'm not saying streaming is not a revenue source. I'm just saying it's still just a hot topic with all artists, but there is a small amount of revenue, very, very small.
Yeah, if I remember correctly,
depending on how many streams you get.
it's
But the best way
around-
to support us is through Bandcamp, buying our, you know, what limited merch we still have.
if I
But
remember correctly,
please stream it if that's your option, because it you're hearing our music, and that's always, like JC said, what's most important.
if I remember correctly,
got
the
a-
revenue is about a penny per 100 streams or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you want to listen to it on Spotify, listen to it a lot and we might make $1.
Yes.
I got a request here for Gary to speak Chinese. Is that acceptable? Can that happen?
You knew it was coming, man.
For those that don't know-
呢
Was that?
其实 OK，
Sorry.
我已经在中国5年了，所以呢，我会普通话，我会有一点广东话，粤语会一点点，但是只是说现在呢，我不太确定我要说什么呢。
He said, I don't like Tetrafusion that much, but I had a pen. That's a Dream Theater reference.
Hey.
All right, there's the Mandarin reveal.
Mandarin
I
reveal.
knew.
It's Mandarin, right? Not Cantonese, Gary?
That was Mandarin, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Mandarin.
can I get some Cantonese now?
佢哋去邊度啊？
That's like, is that like Southern Mandarin, like Southern English?
Cantonese.
Mandarin, but yelling.
Well, this has been fun, guys.
Oh yeah. What time is it over there? It's 11:20 a.m.
It's almost
17?
11, 20.
Cool.
20.
20. All right, we're
Cool,
gonna wrap
well.
it up.
This has been a
Fun journey.
tell that man bun man that he's missed. This is from Emily Dean Fuss. I don't know. It's a joke on me.
Miss you, girl.
Yeah.
Is that your last name?
Okay.
You waiting?
Somebody you know, Gary.
They're not here, Mark. They're not in the chat, dude.
They're in my chat.
I meant the live chat.
Yeah, they are. On Facebook.
John Henry says, "Well, that was intense." I think he's talking about Gary speaking
Yes.
Mandarin, not
Yes.
Mark.
Tyrannosaurus Moose wants to know if they can gift us in burritos. Yes. I will
I'll
always
take what I
Food's
can
like
get.
moose.
Probably don't ship it to China, but these other guys
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
Emily
I-
Dean Foos. Sorry, got it right
Foos.
now.
I haven't had a job since March 16th, so I'll literally take anything that you have.
Will work for Taco Bell. I had Taco Bell today. It was awesome.
I hear they're getting rid of like everything
They are.
good.
They're getting the spicy potato soft taco.
That's like my
That's,
favorite
uh,
item.
I know.
That's a shame. And like now for vegetarians, what do they have? Beans?
Beans.
Thinking about those beans.
Thinking about that.
You know, at least the potatoes were like something substantial. Like I felt like that was like vegetarians out there. Like, what are you gonna get at Taco Bell without the potatoes?
I get the
They're just thinking about those beans.
I get the black bean quesarito and bean burrito sometimes.
See, I like the black bean quesarito, but my beef with that is that it is literally the same price as the beef quesarito. Like I feel like there should at least be a price break for me not getting meat, you know?
Yo, Juan.
Um,
Juan, you thinking about those beans? I think he's thinking about those beans.
I think he's actually in every comment thread. I think he's got all of the streams pulled up at the same time because he's over here on YouTube too.
Which stream is fastest?
I don't know. No way to know.
Gary, do they have Mexican food in China? It's a question.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I live pretty close to Shanghai, and yeah, you can go get quite a lot of Mexican food. Yesterday I had Indian.
Is it just like, home?
Yeah, basically.
Like Tex-Mex?
Yeah, you can get Tex-Mex.
Do they have Taco Bell?
Yes, they have margaritas at the Taco Bell.
Oh, they have those. They had a Taco Bell cantina in Austin on Guadalupe that I would go to that had the margaritas. That one was really good.
Yeah, that's like every Taco Bell.
Yep. That's really cool. I'd like to come visit.
You should.
I don't think that now's a good time, but
Yeah, you
Well,
can't
see y'all
right
later.
now, but
I don't think I can.
Well,
Man,
I guess this
Taco
wraps it
Bell
up.
sounds
Unless
really
anybody
good.
has anything else, we're just kind of rambling at this point
Yeah,
because
I'm
I
ready
know
to go
when
to
we
bed.
sign off, there's no more Tetrafusion
That's
live
right.
streams.
I know.
I'm sad.
No, I don't
This
want
has
to
been
leave.
fun.
I don't want to leave, guys. I'll never see
I know
you
what I
again.
have to do. After the stream, I know what I have to do, and I don't want to do it.
What is that?
I dropped a screwdriver down my shower drain, and I can't get it out. And it's literally the only thing I've been thinking about this entire stream is how to get that screwdriver out of my drain. I'm really
Have you
upset
been thinking
about
about those beans though?
it. I've been thinking about those screwdrivers in my shower. So,
well,
duty
guys,
calls.
Well, we got to
Thank
end
y'all
it
for tuning
sometime.
in.
So
We're just being goofy. But
let's do it.
much love out there.
All right, see y'all next week to do Absolute Zero again.
Yeah, let's just do them all over again.
wait, we said we should walk backwards, right? So let's just go back to Horizons and then.
Oh yeah. Or let's listen to
We
them
just
all
talked
in
about our
reverse.
own music every Tuesday for all of 2020. Would anybody tune in?
Yeah, if we keep doing this, will we get more viewers?
We have
Or
a yes.
less.
We'll definitely have recurring jokes.
I have an idea. I can go to like this view here. Oh, I shouldn't show that. I hope that didn't show anything bad.
Brooks, can you play 10 seconds of a new TF demo?
Yeah,
We
and then
gotta
let's
give 'em
go.
some.
All right, fine. Which one?
All right, this is Tetrafusion
Which-
album number 5.
which one?
world premiere.
Do not do bop.
Okay. Which one should I do?
The one that you recorded the demo
Um,
for.
7/4.
I have demos for like 4 songs.
Spacey.
I don't know which ones you have. Just play 10 seconds of something. I
Do
don't know, whatever.
Spacey 5/4.
Well, hang on. Y'all have to bear with me because I don't know where they're saved on my computer. It's just easier if I go to my SoundCloud and have them private. Which one? No, I don't want to do Spacey because I don't have a demo of that.
Just whatever one you got.
Alrighty.
Whatever part you think would be exciting.
Sounds good. All right. How about? Okay. How about?
Come on, Brooks. They're hanging on your every word.
How about this one?
Lydian.
This one. Oh, you want the Lydian one?
Oh, that's what I was going
All
to
right.
say. But.
All right. Sure. It's probably really loud.
Yeah, it is. Bring it
It's
down.
really loud.
Hang on. Sorry.
It's really loud.
And I have that guitar solo on my Instagram. So if you want any more,
Check it
that's
out.
where you can get it. That was a very generous minute of the next album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Emily
excited to
Dean
record
Foose
that.
says, too loud, play a different 10 seconds.
All right, I'll play a different 10 seconds. Here you go. Here's the next one.
All right, look, 10 seconds this time, though.
All right. 15.
Okay.
All right, that's all you get.
Very generous. You're welcome. Okay,
All right,
let's get out of here. I'm ready to go to bed.
Well, see you later.
See ya.
big gulps, huh?
Okay, bye.
Well.